to misery are born. Every night and every night, some are born to sweet delight. Joy and woe are woven fine, clothing for the soul divine. Under every grief and pine runs a joy which silk entwine. It is right, it should be so. We were made for joy and woe, and when this we rightly know, safely through the world we go.
Beautiful, thank you. Thank you to our quartet this morning. Good morning, y'all. I am Reverend Lane-Mairead Campbell, and it is my privilege and my pleasure to welcome you to the First Universalist Church of Rochester, where we are called to nurture the spirit and to serve the community. It has been my joy to be your settled minister here for the last 6 years, and I use they, them pronouns. Wow, yes. Leading worship along with me this morning is Patty Goodwin, our worship associate, using she, her pronouns. We have fantastic music from our Gathered Here quartet, as well as Ann Rohde, using she, her pronouns, joining us, helping to direct our UURoc choir and playing on our piano. This morning, Oliver Annan is holding down tech, using he, him pronouns, restarting the program, getting the slides going. Oliver, we are so grateful to you. And joining us for our online ministry team, Karen Labraco, using she, her pronouns. We want to make sure that folks here know who is leading you in worship this morning and not just assume that everybody knows our names. So it's good to be with you. We also have Carol and Lily, both using she, her pronouns, upstairs doing childcare this morning. If you are here for the first, second, or third time, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so glad that you are here. A brief word, there is a visitors forum on the back of your order of service to fill out. You can also scan the QR code or click the link in the chat for folks joining us online. What's the most important thing, though, is that we want you to know that this is a space where we want you to feel connected. And so please join us after the service for coffee hour in our Clara Barton Lounge. And also, if you're going to be here next week, following our service, we have a church picnic in Genesee Valley Park. Please oh no, it's actually in Seneca Park. I'm so sorry, different location. In Seneca Park, please check your order of service for some information. We'll have a moment to turn to one another and offer a greeting. But before we do, we like to connect our in-person community with our folks worshiping with us online. So there's a teeny tiny camera back here below Hope. But if you would turn towards that camera and offer a wave this morning, we are so grateful our folks are joining us online. Grateful to all be here together. If you would take a moment to rise in body or in spirit or to pop into the chat and offer a greeting here this morning, it is good to be together today. y'all. Sorry to break it up. Sorry to disturb your conversations. But I'm just going to invite y'all to have a seat for just a second before we sing. First Universalist is a community that is focused on growing right now. And we are truly blessed this morning to call forward from among you a group of people who are making a commitment today to become members here at First Universalist Church. I know, woo! These new members have done their discernment. They've spent time with us and amongst us and are now making their responsibility to this congregation official today. So I want to invite our new members to please come forward to sign the book at this time. Our book is right here. Folks from our membership committee will join you in signing the book. So we've got a couple of folks that are going to be coming forward this morning. And as our new members come forward, and the members of this congregation will prepare our hearts and our minds to offer a blessing to these fantastic kindred spirits. We know that as a church, as a congregation, we need new perspectives, and we need new people to help us grow into the congregation we seek to become, and to help us live our shared mission to nurture the spirit and serve the community. Our membership books in our archives contain names of people dating back to 1846. To the official founding of this congregation. And today, our fantastic new members join in this long stream of families and individuals that have decided to make First Universalist their religious home. So please go forth and sign the book if you both would like. Both Tom and Marty are signing the book. We had another new member ceremony just a month ago, and we're just really grateful to have these folks here with us this morning. And Donna Anderson, who is the chair of our membership committee, is here helping folks. And once you all are done signing the book, I want to invite you to come forward to come join me up here for a special blessing. Yeah, it's interesting, in our membership book, we all get a baptismal number. And we have to put down our first name and our Christian name. This is an old book. So Tom, please come join me up here if you would. And Marty, once you're done. Oh, thanks. Thanks. I'm also joined by a couple of folks from our membership committee, Clinton Swingle, of course. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, thank you. Give us just a second. Marty, you don't have to fill out every single thing, but if you would, that would be great. Fantastic. Come on up. Please state your name.
Tom Anderson.
Tom Anderson. May your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak truth. May your heart know love. And may the work of your hands be blessed all of the days of your life. Welcome. And what's your name?
Martin Muggleton.
Martin Muggleton. I feel like I've never heard your first name, your first full name.
Martin was my mother's idea. I didn't have much to do with it.
Okay. Well, welcome, Martin, or Marty, as we all know you. So, Marty, may your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak truth. May your heart know love. And may the work of your hands be blessed all of the days of your life. Will the members of this congregation please rise in your pews? And will our visitors please bear with us as we go through this? We ask our members to read aloud your blessing. And do we have a slide for that this morning? Well, then we are going to have y'all repeat after me. Friends, you have joined our church by placing your names alongside ours in this book of names, and I just want to ask a question before we offer a blessing. Have you come of your own free choice to live in covenant with us and to move together with us into our future with hope and vision? If so, please say yes. Yes. So, members here, will you please repeat after me? We, the members of First Universalist Church, welcome you to our search for faith in freedom. Our work of justice with love. And our practice of keeping an open mind. We pledge to offer you support. In times of sorrow. Laughter in times of joy. Encouragement in times of doubt. And to hold our lamp high. To light you on your way. Welcome, new members. We are so grateful you are joining us this morning. You can go back to your seats. Thank you so much. Please rise in body or in spirit if you are not already there as we sing our opening hymn this morning, hymn number 349. We gather together, a hymn celebrating our gathering this morning. It is good to be together. So please join us. The words are up on the screen or they'll be found in your blue hymnal. Please be seated. At the top of our service, let us turn our hearts towards gratitude. For what are you grateful for this morning? We hold gratitude this morning for this day, for this breath, and let us breathe one in and out together. Grateful for our ancestors whose sacrifices mean that we get to live this life. Grateful to the earth and to all of its creatures. Grateful for all of our relations, for the gift of being cared for and loved. Grateful to Spirit in the many ways Spirit is felt and understood in this moment by all gathered here. Grateful we are here now together. Grateful for this moment and for the moments to come. Come, let us worship together in gratitude this morning.
As Tom and Donna Anderson lights our chalice at First Universalist Church, and you light a chalice in your own homes, will you join me in saying our chalice lighting words in unison? May we be a people of welcome, here to grow in heart and mind and spirit, and may we reach out to serve our community. Please rise in body or in spirit and join me in our affirmation of faith, followed by our sung offering. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the source and meaning of life. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all.
What we need is here. 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 Beautiful. Please be seated.
In this, our church family, we share our joys and sorrows. Sometimes the things that bring us joy at one point in life can also bring us sorrow at another point in life. How lucky are we that we can be supported here as we navigate through the highs and lows of our lives. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received. You who are here in person are invited to drop an offering in the offering basket. And if you are a visitor, please feel free to let the basket pass. You are invited to give online by scanning the QR code on the back of your order of service. For folks online, please click the link in the chat to give to First Universalist Church. Thank you for your generosity.
All is
Good morning, friends. First, I want to invite up any of our littles who want to be close enough to see the pictures in the book. For the rest of you, you also will have the pictures on the screens. Now, earlier this year, I shared a... Oh, thank you. Come on, closer. Closer. Thank you. Earlier this year, I shared a Zen story about a farmer who the neighbors would say whenever he had good luck or bad luck, they would judge it. He'd say, maybe, or could be good, could be bad. It's just too soon to tell. Does this sound familiar? Yes. So today's story kind of is along those lines of how do we judge if something is a good thing or a bad thing or whatever kind of thing. And we get to have it pretty interactive. Our character, the rabbit, tends to be the optimist in this story, looking for the good news. And our character, I am not sure if this fellow qualifies as a mouse or a rat or a mole, not a mole, rat. And tends to be happy, but when things happen, to judge it as being bad. So maybe however you're feeling today or in this season or whatever you like in the story, to join me in telling it. Does it feel like good news or does it feel like more bad news? Let's find out. All right. So this story is called Good News, Bad News by Jeff Mack. The rabbit finds a picnic basket. Good news! It starts raining. What do you think? Bad news. An umbrella. Good news! Getting blown away by the umbrella. Bad news! Finding the umbrella and finding a tree to shade them from the rain. Good news! Getting bonked on the head by an apple. Bad news. Well, usually it's so, I'm imagining that our rat friend is saying bad news because bad things keep happening to him. And our friend the rabbit keeps saying good news, trying to look on the bright side of things to cheer his friend up. Good news! Here's an apple you can eat. There's a worm in my apple. Bad news. There's cake in the basket. Good news. There's a bee on the cake. Bad news. I've got a swatter. Good news. You swatted me with the frosting. Bad news. Oh, you got frosting. Let me help. Oh, no. Good news. Bees. Bad news. There's a cave we can hide in. Good news. There's a bear in the cave. Bad news. Ooh, a flagpole we can climb up. Good news. The flagpole gets struck by lightning. Bad news. The bear's running away. Good news. Are you ready for this one? Our rat friend. Bad news. Our friend the rabbit's really feeling it now. You're right. It is bad news. And our friend the rat is like, wait a minute. Oh, I don't like to see my friend sad. The skies open up and the sun comes down and he runs away off. And I think he's got an idea. Good news? He brings his friend the picnic basket from the beginning. Very good news. I like that no matter what the news is, come back here, Johara. They're able to deal with it better and enjoy life more when they are together. And so it is with all of our things. You can tell me later. So like all second Sundays of the month, this is the day that we do our food in gathering, collecting food and money, non-perishable goods and money for the community cupboard on Nestor Street. If you brought food today, we have a lot of youth among us today who would love to help carry it up to our baskets. So if you could raise your hands, I send out the crew of minions to go and collect food. So you guys look for people who are raising their hands because it means they have food. So you go and get the food from them and you bring it up here to the baskets. Today. So now I'm going to invite our littles to come up.
Michelle, your mic's not on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You are little, it is true, for now. But before we do that, I want to invite you to prepare our hearts and minds for our time of joy and sorrow and prayer by singing our doxology. The words are going to be on the screen, and we're going to sing.
Please be seated. What a joy it is to have so much beautiful chaos amongst us and such lively children. We are a blessed congregation. I want to invite you into this reverent time of sharing the joys and the sorrows of our gathered community. This is a ritual that is essential to this congregation. And so if you'd like to, you can place a hand over your heart, whether you're joining us from your home or here in the sanctuary, to be able to connect into this heart-centered place. As Patty places stones into the bowl, I will read the joys and the sorrows of our gathered community. If you're joining us online, you can type your joys and sorrows in the chat, and we will certainly read them aloud here in this space. This morning, we share a joy from Lois Baum, who is overjoyed that her family is here celebrating her turning 70 this Tuesday. Happy birthday, Lois. Please welcome her Brooklyn sister Pam and Joyce and Columbus cousins Aaron and Ann. Yay. So grateful that you are surrounded in love, Lois. We also join with Tom and Donna Anderson, who are so happy to have friends and family with them as they embrace their church community. So Tom and Donna, yay. Everybody who's with you, yay. Glad you're here this morning. Oh, we share a second joy from Lois Baum that the magazine 55 Plus featured our amazing congregation member Beth Ayers in an article. We already know what a remarkable person she is, and it is great to see her justice work being recognized. Congratulations, Beth. We share a joy this morning from Jan Hickman. It's a joy to have you back with us in the sanctuary, Jan. So grateful you are on the mend. But she celebrates this morning also that her great-granddaughter, Sabrina Mary, joined her 3-year-old brother. So congratulations on this new great-granddaughter. We share a joy from Kitty Forbush, an absolute joy for singing with Ed and Ann at the church auction concert at another congregation member's house, Dave and Elizabeth. Please don't miss it next year. We share a joy from Karen Labraco, thank you, who's looking forward to picking up her son Neil this evening after he was traveling in Europe since April. Wishing Neil a safe travel home, grateful that he is making his way back after so much time away. Dear ones, we hold each morning as a congregation, each Sunday morning, that this is a church worshiping community that is meeting in a time of war. We acknowledge the wars and the conflicts that are happening in Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, the Congo, and Sudan. And we acknowledge that there are more conflicts and wars happening that we are not even aware of. We earnestly pray for these wars to cease. We join in this ritual of lighting a white candle to honor the grief that is felt in this time, grief at the loss of life, grief at the loss of life as folks know it. May we connect our grief felt here to the grief felt by those who are directly experiencing the impacts of these wars and conflicts. We also light a yellow candle to acknowledge the joy that can still be felt, that can still be had, the sustaining life force that continues to run through communities directly experiencing war and continues to run through our community. May we be connected by our joys to those experiencing wars and conflicts in their own homes, in their own backyards. May we be connected by our joy. We will hold a brief moment of silence to honor the many deaths that have happened this past week due to wars across our world. Out of the silence, out of holding those that we know and do not know, let us also drop one final stone into the bowl to represent all of the joys and the sorrows left unspoken in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts. May all be held in the heart of love this morning. Dear ones, our meditation this morning is a meditation in the body, an embodied meditation. So it can be done standing, sitting, or laying down. What is important this morning is that your body is comfortable. We acknowledge this morning that we worship in a space with pews where there was sort of a should about how our bodies should be. And so I'm going to invite you to just take a moment to check in with your own body, to breathe in and out, and to just sit with what would be most comfortable, and to make any kind of shifts you need to make. So if you need to lay down, if you need to stand, if you need to sit, just take a moment and adjust. When we come to worship together, we bring our bodies, our whole selves here. And yet when we start a meditation, we begin by focusing our attention on our head. So I'll invite you to just even place your hand upon your head. However, wherever feels good to you. Take a deep breath here. And allow your mind to settle. Whatever thoughts are moving through you, whatever is perhaps ping-ponging around in there, or whatever is on your mind, notice it. And then let it go. Like dust settling, or like a drop of water along a stream. Allow your mind to settle and clear. Notice your thoughts, but resist the urge to hold on to them or to get lost in them. Just allow them to flow and settle. Let us move our hands and our attention to our hearts. A space to get in touch with our feelings. What feelings are you bringing in here with you today? Let those feelings just exist without judgment or trying to change them. Name them. Feel them. Allow them to flow through you like a drop of water on a river, dirt or muck settling in water. If another feeling comes up, give it space to exist. Name that feeling. Allow it to run through you. And then let it go. Bring your hands and your attention to your solar plexus, just right here, right above your belly. Let's take a deep breath here. Let's take a few deep, cleansing breaths here, in and out. In and out. One more. In and out. And finally, let us move our hands to our bellies, to our guts, to the bottom part of our stomachs where our guts reside. So let's take in a full breath that expands and contracts your stomach, in and out. This is where the instinct and the intuition resides in our bodies. Take a moment to bring your attention here and to listen. Is there an instinct or an intuition sitting with you? A voice? Something you are feeling? Let the thoughts arise in you and take a moment for a gut check. And then breathe through it all. Breathe a few more deep breaths. in the silence we share. May we hold gratitude for these bodies, however imperfect they are. May we hold gratitude for these vessels, for these breaths, for our body's ability to hold and process and move and store and stretch. As we share in some silence together, let us continue to listen to our bodies. So let us join in some shared silence. Amen. Blessed be, may it be so. If some of what you found in yourself related to fear, or if there were moments when perhaps your gut check brought up a fear about the future or a worry, we are here to sing through that and process that in song. Our hymn of contemplation, to be sung from your seats, from however your body is comfortable, is hymn number 396. I know this rose will open, and we will sing it twice through in unison today. This morning, I thought perhaps what we might do was to get to bear witness to some different stories in our congregation. Stories from different perspectives. I don't know about y'all, but y'all hear a lot from me on Sunday mornings. I'm so grateful for all the listening that you do to me and that you are here with me. But I have to say, it's nice sometimes to share the mic. And it's nice sometimes to get to hear from folks in our congregation. As we have been engaging in a couple of months of looking at unabashed joy, we've also been exploring how we hold both joy and despair at the same time. A timely exploration, if there ever was one, around joy for right now. So this morning, I will share a story of experiencing both joy and despair. Patty Goodwin will share a story about experiencing both joy and despair. And lucky us today, Lee Beeman is also going to preach with us this morning his coming of age sermonette, which just so happened to talk about holding both joy and despair at the same time. So what a joy that is happening. And also, Lee, congratulations on your coming of age, completing your coming of age. So we also wanted to give you an opportunity to get to interact with us and to get to process some of this with us. And we're going to do it through singing. If you can't tell, and if you're new here, this congregation loves to sing. So you might have heard from our choir this morning, all this joy, all this sorrow, all this promise, all this pain. We are all going to get to sing a refrain after each one of our reflections this morning. And so, Anne, would you play it just once through, and then we'll join you in singing it so we can practice before we sing it following our reflections. It is in moments of deep sorrow that we can also find joy. And today, I want to share with you one such moment from my life. In the year 2013, while I was living in Columbus, Ohio, and serving our Unitarian Universalist church there, originally named the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Columbus, while I was serving there in March of my first year, I got in a major car accident. While driving on the highway, I lost control of my vehicle and sideswiped a semi-truck on the driver's side. The experience was a lot. I had to literally be pried out of the car. Thankfully, though, only my shoulder was injured. And of course, my body eventually felt the impact. Has anyone here been in a car accident before? Where you don't feel it at first, and then you feel it in your muscles? But the injuries could have been much more serious. Many doctors in the emergency department, kindly reminded me that people don't usually emerge from these accidents alive or without major surgeries to follow. The accident itself was certainly hard, but it was not the worst of it. The worst of it was the recovery, the stillness, the rest required to heal. I was laid up for weeks. I had to ask friends to help me clean. to scoop my cat litter. I had to find new and different ways to get dressed every day because it turns out that you use your shoulders for a lot. And I had to just lay on the couch there and in my bed for weeks. I was grateful for the help from my friends, and also the church that I was serving had folks lined up to bring me food, which was huge. If you have been a part of a ministry like this in this church, it really does matter to the folks you are bringing food to. I could not have gotten better without those casseroles and that food lovingly prepared for me. Yet there was still this despair and this loss of my autonomy. I couldn't drive. I couldn't go out by myself. It was this loss of what my life usually looked like. And this despair also in the loneliness. Healing can be such a lonely process. While I was healing, I was given a prescription for physical therapy to build my strength back up and to get back to moving my shoulders in the ways that it had moved before. The work was slow, but was also extremely empowering. I had this real sporty physical therapist who continually repeated the phrase, "You're a fairly strong and healthy person. This is something you're able to do. You got this." And the exercise brought a bit of routine to my days. The movement helped me to feel less stagnant. And out of this time when I was truly facing my own mortality, in touch with the fragility of my life, I found strength. I found a joy in my body that I had not previously known. While the loss of how my life was remained, and while the pain of watching the world go by without me actively in it stayed ever present, I found a way to go inward in gratitude for the strength of my body, slowly healing and repairing. My despair became a motivating force to get better, to keep going, to do the exercises I needed to do every day. Not necessarily gone. The despair wasn't necessarily gone, but it existed beside the joy of this body, the joy of knowing that I had a community taking care of me. And I will say that in retrospect, I am far less likely to take for granted the miracle of my body and the way it healed over those months. I'm far less likely to think poorly about this body, and it is truly a miracle for me. Out of a very serious accident emerged a newfound appreciation for life that comes often after we have experienced moments of the possibility of our own death.
"2004. George and I were sitting in the minister's office with Reverend George Tiger. 'Why now, after 8 years?' he asked. 'Because he asked me,' I replied. When I said yes, I was opening my heart to love. George had the best giggle. He would start giggling before he was halfway through telling a joke. And of course, so would I. I don't remember the jokes, but I remember the giggling. But George also had mental health struggles with depression, anxiety, and isolation issues, and later physical health issues as well. So saying yes meant living with both. A favorite Hallmark Valentine movie of mine has a chocolatier making chocolate cupids. When asked what the secret ingredient in the chocolate is, she says, bravery. What is more scary than opening your heart and risking it all? July will be 2 years since George passed, but love is worth the grief. What greater purpose is there in life than to love and be open to love in return? That does not mean it's easy, but love is the bridge between life and death. Memories can make you smile, while the tear is never that far away.
Hello. I'm Lee Beeman. I use he, they pronouns. And it's been about 3.5 years since I started watching this thing. It's called One Piece. I really enjoy One Piece. Now, for those of you that don't know, One Piece is a manga series that started publication in July of 1997 and has been publishing chapters weekly ever since. One Piece has many outstanding elements, but one that sticks out especially is the characters. I'll be talking about one specific character named Nami. Nami grew up in a small village along with her adoptive mother and sister. Their family didn't make much money, but they made enough to get by. At the age of 10, Nami's village was raided by a pirate crew led by a man named Arlong. He demanded each person pay to keep their life. $1,000 for every adult, $500 for every child. Nami's mother, only having $1,000 saved up, paid for her daughters to keep their lives and was killed in front of the two girls. Nami eventually made a deal with Arlong. She would save up $1 million and buy back her village, but just as she finally got close to her goal, Arlong sent people to find and steal the money she'd saved. I'd like you all to go watch One Piece yourself to find out how she gets out of her predicament, but I will say that her village is eventually freed and Nami no longer needs to save up the money. But she still does. She continues to save up her money because she knows the pain of being poor and being unable to pay for the life of somebody she knows. Whether it's big or small, actions make an impact. Old habits die hard, especially when those habits can save a life. I won't be giving many details anymore, as the story I just told is within the first season of the show. My mother hasn't gotten to this part yet, so I'll be quite brief and vague. There's eventually a point in the story where a friend of Nami's is in trouble, and the only solution without causing more problems was to pay. This causes us a moment that solidifies Nami's character. Without a single moment of hesitation, Nami offers to pay. People are deeper than they appear on the surface. Past experiences can affect people in both good and bad ways. On the surface, Nami seems like a greedy person, But with a deeper look, you can see that she hoards money for good reasons. Next time you find yourself judging someone else, ask yourself, why does this person act the way they do? Yeah, that's it.
Those of you who are new to Unitarian Universalism, or maybe it's a good reminder, how do we compare to other faith traditions as far as what we do, our rituals, our coming-of-age rituals in particular? Some would do a baptism or a christening or a bris, but for us it is child dedication. And it doesn't have to happen when they're an infant. It can happen at any point in childhood. And the important thing to know is that we're not dedicating the child to anything. We're dedicating ourselves to the support, the spiritual and personal support of the child. And then, how some faith traditions might have a bar or bat mitzvah or a confirmation, we have coming of age. And in many ways, it's that idea of you are old enough now, and you've done the work that you not only have a great grasp of what Unitarian Universalism is, but on who you are as a Unitarian Universalist. So I just wanted to help give some context to appreciate this year-long program that Lee has completed, and amongst many other gifts that we hope he's received from the program, we thought it would be appropriate to give a copy of Singing the Living Tradition, where so many of our readings and songs and things come from. So, welcome. Congratulations, Lee, on your work on yourself as a Unitarian Universalist. We're so proud to continue to honor the promises of dedicating ourselves to supporting you today and every day hereafter.
Congratulations, Lee. Woo! And thank you for sharing with us this morning. Thank you, Rev. Michelle. Well, what else do we have to do but to keep singing? So will you please rise in body or in spirit for our final hymn, hymn number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning. Let us join in singing this hymn together. It can be found in your blue hymnal or here on the screen. remain standing as we extinguish our chalice flame this morning, reading our words together printed on the screen or in your order of service. Just a second. We extinguish this flame, but we keep its light in our hearts with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world we live in until we are together again. Dear ones, I'll invite you to place a hand over your heart at the end of our time and to just take a look around at who is here with you. If you're on Zoom, turn your view to gallery view. We can see you here. Just take a moment to look upon the faces of those who are here with you on this turning earth, sharing in the joys and the sorrows, sharing in the promise and the pain, sharing in this life together. Dear ones, may each and every single one of us know here and be reminded this morning that we are loved. No matter what you are going through, no matter what you have done or where you have been, you are loved. And may you go and be that love to whomever you meet and to wherever you go in the days, the moments, the weeks ahead. And let the people of the church say, Amen.
Please join in singing this with us. You'll know it.
Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Da 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 da, feeling groovy. Hello lamppost, what you knowin'? I got a country flowers growing. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Dootin' doo-doo, feeling groovy. Da-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. Got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all the petals on me. Life, I love you, feeling groovy. Da 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 da. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for love and feeling groovy. Da 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 da, feeling groovy. Da 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 da, feeling groovy. Yeah.
Great job.